Okay, this is the Allen Bradley uh, touchscreen for the bag on valve filler right here. And just to get an idea how it works, if you hit the stop button down here, you press this red button and you get a press green button here. So when you start up and you see that, then you have to come down here to the green button right here. Press that and the screen is ready now to start. So you have a press cycle start. So what you do is you can hit the reset, hit the cycle stop, so it'll tell you it's stopped, and ready to run, you just press cycle start. So you hit this cycle start, and you can hear it indexing. Now, I've got the photo eye covered that's going in. If I take that off, you'll have a CAN in-feed backlog light, indicating that your photo eye is not covered. So I'm going to cover it now. And now the machine is running. And it's going through table index, hit cycle. So it's going through the cycle right here. You can see table index, hit cycle, index, cycle, and so forth. So it'll run, and then as it runs cans around, this light will light up, and it'll make its way around for each station for the cramper, filler head 1, 2, 3, and then the pressure tester. And then you have a table and a conveyor. The conveyor right now is not really tied in. So if you want to stop, you just hit stop. It'll stop. And then I'm going to put in, we have the doors tied in, and we have to tie that into the computer yet, so we're still working on that. And so when you want to start back up, you just hit start again. Now, if you want to do a manual, so now it says press cycle to start it back. So right now we're stopped. And if you go down here and hit this main screen, once you're running, you can look at this screen and tell how many cans a minute. Then you can also do a pressure check over here and check the pressure as it's running to see how much pressure you got. So each one of these tells you whether the cycle is complete. You know, as it's running, it'll go yellow to indicate that it's gone through its cycle. Now, if you want to do a manual, let's say you want to do a head check on head number 1, then we go back to the manual screen here, take it out of auto mode. Now it's in manual mode, and here's filler 1. And what you have to do once you're out of that, and you can enable this, and you can hear it goes down and back up. And then you can disable the head if you want to disable it, or enable. So you can take the head out if you want. There it's disabled. You can run without it, and if you want it, you can turn it back on. That tells you whether the cycle is complete as it's running. Or if you do a test like this, then back up, and it's complete. And so this will tell you we're in manual mode. If you want to go back, of course, now the delays are pretty well set. The extends at 250, timeout at 4,000. These timers are set in the computer to for the firing sequence, and they're pretty well set right now. So let's go back out of here. We'll take this into auto mode, and as you can see, the screen clears. You can also do a single cycle here, and you hear the hit fire. It says it's in cycle. It timed out, and so it timed out. So we'll go back to auto mode. It's not going to go back up because I fired it. So we got to go back to manual screen, hit the reset, and the hit goes back up. So if we go back into 1, we're in auto mode, it's enabled. If we go over to 2, same thing you do with hit number 2. If you want to go to a single cycle, you can single cycle it, hit 2, but the only way to get it to reset is to reset it. But if you take it out of auto mode, go to cylinder extend, and it would fire, and then retract, and that's how you can set each hit individually if you want to. So we'll go back to auto mode. There's auto mode. Go back to the manual screen, hit 3, and the table. Now the table, we can override it and do a single jog. It'll go one time again, and one time again. So you can rotate a can around and then fire off the hit. That's what the table does. And we can go back into manual mode. You can hit the reset and go into cycle start. Now stop. And then pressure test. It's disabled right now, but if you want to enable it, you just hit that button there and then put it on disable. You can extend it, retract it, or purge, energize. But right now we're disabled, so I mean I can make it fire and we can check it and then go back up. We'll go back to an auto mode. Auto mode should take off and run, just like it is now. We're hooking up a photo eye for the end. So, but when you put a can in there, you'll watch it go around for each station because this machine does not have anything to fire off hits 1, 2, 3, like a track switch or something. There's only one switch, and it's right here. And that one switch starts the whole sequence going around, just that one switch. So hit 1 does not have its own switch, 2 does not, and 3 does not have its own switch. Pressure filler does not have its own switch. There's only one switch, just one. And it makes it do everything. So I think that pretty well covers it. So if you want to stop, stop. Or you can hit the emergency stop or machine stop in order to get it to stop. This is go to configure, but we don't usually get into that, and I'm not going to get into that. Someone else will have to tell you how that operates, or what you can do in that configuration. As far as speed is controlled by, you can control it with the air adjusters on that indexing table, or you can also get into this computer and do it inside this computer, but you'd have to hook up a laptop and get into the program to make it do that. But right now it's doing about, on the average of 28 to 30 cans a minute. And so let's take it back out of here. We're not in an auto mode. Now the crimper, there's the crimper. So if you want to do it once, you can do that by itself. And we'll go back to manual screen. And it's gonna start back up again. Okay. So here's three. Three's on a 250 delay, 4,000 on a timeout. So take it out of here. You can go to a manual. Let's say you want to set the weights on number 3. Put your can under the head, fire it off. Once the cylinder is done firing, hit the reset. Now the head doesn't fire now because we don't have a can under it. But when you can't put a can under it, that head will fire and you can check all your weights in a manual mode. So let's go back to auto mode. Okay. Should be able to hit start. If you don't if it don't take off on a cycle start, you might not be in auto mode, or you may have to hit the reset and then cycle stop and then start. Okay. Okay, we're going to stop now.